Right, a short little catch up. I've done a few bits since we last spoke, I think. Back wheel and swinging arm and that's all in. That was a bit of a trick. I don't know if I showed you these. New tail light and shiny rear mud guard and indicators on. That's starting to look lovely, isn't it? Yeah. We get a 7x5 number plate made up. That's because you don't want anything too beefy on there. Would look silly. Engine's all hung in there. Forks, I've done a rebuild on the forks now. New seals in there, nice and clean. And look at them. Not a pit inside. There's a few marks on there, but there's nothing serious. I've got to drop these forks out again because I've got some gaiters. The ones that I bought are too short, so I'm getting some longer ones. Hopefully they'll fit on there nicely. So it's starting to look like a bike again, and just got a couple of things on the handlebars. That's the new handlebars, not too wide, quite nice I think. So it's coming together. It's starting to look like the bike I planned it to be now, isn't it? Quite nice really. I've just put the coils, clipped them onto the plugs just to lay them in place, and this wiring I've started to break out. You can see here where I've started to break this out. I'm going to run that back. I'm going to extend these 3 wires from the head end of things back to the cluster of the loom where the battery will sit, and I'm going to put the ignition switch under the seat like I said earlier. So all of that's got to be peeled right out, about 1 metre of cable in there, so I can work that in. Now I'm slowly starting to build things back up again and get it all together, and yeah, it's starting to look quite exciting. So keep watching, keep seeing how far we get. I know I'm going to come to a grinding halt at one point because of the lack of money, because I need a new set of pipes for it, need a new chain. The sprockets, actually I was looking at the sprockets, they don't look really worn, so I don't know. It might end up being a sprocket set as well as a chain, but we shall see. It's a case of what money comes in, I'll do what I can. After all, I'm planning to sell this bike, and people who buy bikes always like to have something to do for themselves. Yeah, the sort of people who buy these bikes anyhow. So we're getting closer, that's for sure. We'll keep plugging at it. So it's a short one today, that's me finished for now. I've got the fork oil ready to put into the forks. I've got to find out what amount I need to put in, and then I need to measure that and pour that in and then put the tops on. But I'll wait until these gaiters get here, because there's no point in chucking it all together and then pulling it all apart to put it back together again. I'd rather get the gaiters on there, and that'll tidy those forks. Will be finished. Given time, I would have actually taken those bottoms off and given them a good polish up, because that basically is the lacquer on there that's, you know, taking muck behind. This is not actually the surface, it's actually getting into the lacquer. Now there is a bit on the surface obviously, but you know, it gets in behind the lacquer on them, you know, because that's really polished, that's smooth, yeah, but in behind the lacquer it gets in behind and it perishes. So really it would have been a case of dressing them back, getting them really good clean back, taking the lacquer off, polishing up the alley again, and then re-lacquering them. But I don't have the time or the money for that, so they'll stay as they are, and if somebody's bothered then they can take them apart and give them a good clean and re-lacquering and make them look like new. But the rest of the bike I'm not doing that, I'm not making it all look like new. Otherwise I would have had all those engine casings soda blasted or whatever and re-lacquered or whatever, and get all that done up, but I'm not doing that. So that's the other thing I'm going to need, is some gaskets. Putting the side casings back on, I'm going to need gaskets for that. So there we are, that's me. I'm going to get scrubbed up a bit and get away back home again. But yeah, it's quite looking exciting now. I think one of the next things I could do is probably chuck the carbs in and the downpipes. Get those in place. This side casing I can't put on until I've got a new chain, so that's going to have to wait a while. Doesn't stop it from running, so once I get to my status at the stage of running, then I can do some of that. But I've also got the tank, which is going to need a little bit of TLC. There's a few dints in that now, so they're going to need a bit of attention and a bit of paint. So yeah, still some plans, still some stuff to do. I might see about getting a new pair of these, because these ends are actually stripped. That's where the back rack would have sat on. I don't know whether just to get a nut and put that on, or whether to get that. No, I think maybe I'll just get some nuts. Yeah, I might just get some nuts and put them on there. Don't need those extenders, do I? That'll make that look pretty as well. But we're getting there, Not a lot left to do now. I've got the box to finish off. I've started welding that up. I've got the box to finish off for the battery and everything. And then I've got an inner guard to work out. And I've got a little bit of a plan for that. But we shall see how it comes along. Yeah, stuff to do yet. Hopefully, next couple of weeks, this could be pretty close to done. That'd be exciting. Oh, side stand. Best not forget to put that on. That's going to be kind of essential. Yeah, so we'll see about putting that on, get a few more bits ready. Yeah, we're getting close, you know, we're getting close. So, anyway, there we go. That's us for now. Bye for now. Time for a quick catch up. Don't know how much you've seen, so let's start at the back. Number plate light and number plate holder. Indicators, rear mud guard, looking pretty. Battery box, which I have just finished fabricating. It's loosely fixed in there. Had to reduce it. I had actually made it a bit too large, and it meant that it was coming right down, and it was going to foul the chain down here, and also it was coming out too far, so I've had to modify it. It's still big enough for the battery. It's going to be interesting for the ignition though, because I want the ignition to be about here, and I don't think that's going to happen, which is frustrating, because it doesn't give me enough clearance from the top of there. Really, I don't want anything above that, because that's where the seat's going to sit. I've got an idea that I'm working on for the inner guard for the front section there, which could be entertaining if it works. Could be a total bodge if it doesn't, but we'll persevere with it, as hopefully it'll actually work. It's going to require a bit of assistance from somebody with a stainless steel welding kit and ability. Fortunately, next door to where I am, there is such thing. I've just got to sweet talk them, but we will work on that. That's taken a long time. I've been on with that probably 6 hours, which sounds ridiculous, but when you're actually working from nothing and trying to create something, it takes a lot of time. And just looking at that, that's a little bit close. I want a bit more gap there. There's more gap on this side. I'll just have to drop these holes a little bit, just elongate these holes so the whole thing drops a little bit. That will work. Yeah, so we're getting there. Forks are in place. Let's get around that way a bit. Oh, aching knee. Went for a long walk at the weekend, and knee didn't enjoy that. Let's put that lever back on. Just so it looks like a bike. It looks nicer when it's got them on. Yeah, they're in place. The gaiters I got were too short, so in the bag they're going to have to go back. I've got some longer ones coming. I'm waiting for them to arrive. Unfortunately, it might not be next week, which is a pain in the butt, but what you got to work with, isn't it? So short of that, and short of me getting some money to afford some exhaust pipes and a chain, there's not a lot more I can be doing. I've got to get another clock as well. I've got a speedo coming. I've got a speedo already rather, but I need a rev counter. The speedo will sit on this side, the rev counter on that side. Currently I've got nothing to go on there. I know it's not a legal requirement. Actually, a speedometer is not a legal requirement either, which always makes me choke. Yeah, we got some ideas coming on. But it's starting to look good. It's starting to look good. Not a lot being done other than that. Going to have to do a bit of touching up on this frame because the paint I've been working I've knocked through. Really should have done a lot of this fabrication stuff before I painted, but hindsight, 20/20 vision always, isn't it? We'll get there. Next project will be better, and one day you'll get a peep at that. And yeah, so we will keep on pushing with this and see how we get on, and we'll get back to you. Bye for now. Well then, boys and girls, we're back again. I haven't had a chance to video much because I've been working flat out. I've only got a couple of days left before my mate John comes back, and I need to get as much back on this as possible. So I've been working flat out to try and get it accomplished. As you can see, we've got a front wheel on again and a caliper. Because I've dropped the height of the bars were these really big high things up here somewhere. What it's meaning is that a lot of the cables that I'm using are too long. Cables like the throttle, the speedo cable, that's too long. The hose for the brake, that's too long. So it's leaving big kinks in the way, and you can see here the throttle cables. I've put the carbs back on, and the throttle cables are massively too long as well. Now those throttle cables are not working particularly well. So one thing I'm thinking is, if I was to go for a CB250 and go for the controls from a CB250, which are exactly the same except the cables are shorter. Now if they've got the cables, well, I get cables, that's what I need, the cables. And the brake, now this brake cylinder over here, this brake reservoir, if you look at the state of those screws, they're well and truly mullered. This is all corroded and everything, and this, because of the change in the angle of the bars and everything, sits at the wrong angle now. Now this, it doesn't seem to be too brilliant. Now what I'm thinking, the hose and reservoir and brake unit off a CB250 would be flatter, would be cleaner obviously because it'll be a better condition. We'll put that, get one of those. So that's what I'm going to see about doing, getting one of those. Speedo, nice little chromy thing on there with the choke housing on there, and that's working okay. Not from this angle it's not, but from that angle it is. And I've got to get a rev counter to match that. When they're two little clocks on there, and the little headlight that's going to go on the front of here with the indicators off the side like the indicators on the back, I think that's going to be looking real tidy. I've still got to work out something for a front mud guard, but actually I think for MOT they're not essential, so we might get an MOT without and then sort something out afterwards. But here we are, it's coming along nicely, and it's starting to look like a motorbike again, isn't it? Right, loosely speaking, but there we are. I've had a closer look at these sprockets, and if we look at that front sprocket there, get these cables out of the way, that's pretty badly worn actually. Rear sprocket doesn't look too bad actually, but if you're going to do sprockets and chain, you might as well do the whole lot. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do for that, sprockets and chain. The battery box I'm painting at the minute, so I'm not showing you that. That's all ready to go in. It's It's got a lid as well. Got to work out how to fit a locking mechanism to that, because I'm going to do something special with that. Because not just a battery box, it's also a little bit of storage, but also it's going to have your ignition switch in there. So it's going to be a bit exciting. So yeah, a little bit more to do. I don't think I'm going to get it finished before John gets back, which is a shame, but yeah, we're getting on. I've got the battery box to go in. I've got to do something as an inner mud guard on there, and that's a bit of a pain. And then tank, seat's another thing to work out, and then the little rack to work out on the back of there. And yeah, we'll have something that looks like a bike again. I'm waiting for gators coming through. They're supposed to have arrived already. Company with a Chinese sounding name, I should have thought. Chinese sounding name, advertises themselves being in Glasgow with a Union Jack stickers all over the markets on eBay. Yeah, we've got them, and it looks like UK stock and everything, and it takes a fortnight to get here. So they obviously come from China, Hong Kong, somewhere like that. I'm a bit annoyed about that. It means they're not going to be here till next Wednesday. So I can't really put all the front end together properly until I've got them, because they've got to go on before the forks go in finally into the headset. So kind of frustrating being held up by silly little things, but we shall persevere. A little bit more stuff to go on. I've got the coil pack to go on the other side, and that's got to be fixed into place, so we can probably do that now. And yeah, we'll keep plugging. So we'll speak soon. Bye for now.